Okay. Oh. Okay. Here you go.
Yep, I'm here.
I heard your mic as well.
Yep, I'm here.
I'm wondering if Zach, if you can hear us.
You're not hearing?
We can hear you.
Zach, are you in this room with us right now?
Yes, I am.
Just flip the lights on and off if you can
Okay,
hear
hold
us.
on. I'm mostly just listening.
Yeah.
For the time being, telling my kids go to sleep. But
Can
do
you-
that if I need to.
Can you push the lamp? Give us a sign, Zach. I'm kidding, I can hear you. Exactly.
It's working fast.
Yes. All right. Okay. So last we left off, the group was sailing along the coast of the Azure Sea, having left Saltmarsh with a merchant vessel in order to do what you could to collect and save the merchants not the merchants, the fishermen that had been shipwrecked off the coast. As you were traveling, you quickly stopped at the lighthouse near Abbey Island, where you were informed that there might be a pirate attack or something that happened right on the island. But it seems unrelated to the where the ships went, since they went past that island. As you guys were sailing, some of the more keen-eyed of you noticed some merfolk, and you made some trading, some goods with them, as well as finding a ship, a fishing vessel that hadn't quite sunk yet. After meeting a surviving sailor on that and collecting the 3 dead bodies that were there, only a fraction of the crew in total, and exploring the ship, you managed to repair it to functioning quality. It's not high quality per se, and found some interesting things as you explored the ship and talked with the surviving crewmate. Does anyone want to give a summary of what those things are, or do you guys want me to catch you up on that?
I don't know if everyone paid attention to that little play chat.
Drag on less important details. Probably better to do.
So the main thing is that the attack on this ship would normally seem like a pirate attack. There were some signs that you would have expected from a pirate boarding a vessel and commandeering its equipment, crew, etc. But there were a few things that were off. A few things that you know made it seem less likely to be pirates.
Knock that down.
In particular,
Down. Ooh.
in particular, some arrows were found that had in the fish holes, more or less, and that were unusual. And there seemed to be much more damage to the underneath of the
The
ship.
bottle's spilling all over the fucking couch.
Future, my,
I just did. There were more holes in the ship than you would normally expect for a pirate attack. So, oh, and finally, the eyewitness testimony of the surviving sailor seemed to confirm, although he did not see very much of what was going on, that it was in fact some sort of sharp-toothed creature. He seemed to think it was more like the merman that Jorlin showed him there than a lizard folk. So, if there's anything else people want to do with the ship, let me know. But otherwise, I will jump forward in time to when you arrive at the coast, where one of the 3 smoking signal fires are placed.
Quick clarification.
Mhm.
The prisoner, I found out that the prisoner that I saw inside the cell in the lizard man lair was a Sahugan. If I showed the sailor,
That is what the mermaids said, yes.
right, and if I showed the sailor a Sahugan, is he still set on the merman or is he set on the something else?
You never showed him a merman, since you'd never seen one. You had used the Sahuagin,
Oh,
quote
okay.
unquote, and the lizard folk as the 2 images, and he pointed at the fish person, not the lizard folk.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
So, yeah, any other questions? Any other things you guys want to do with the ship?
I don't think so.
Okay. Very well. So, the merchant vessel cannot, because it's a larger ocean-going vessel, it can't bring you right up to the coast, especially with the rocks and such. But they do find a reasonable setting off point that they can have one of their crew members row you guys out to and then row you guys back. The one fisherman who survived, the first mate basically makes the call that like he shouldn't be doing anything, so he's going to stay on the ship for now. And so, and you know, he's a sailor. He'll be able to help and pay whatever things he needs to do if he needs to get back or whatnot. So
Are they going to drop us off or are they going to wait?
they are going to drop you off. Specifically, they're going to row you over to the shore, drop you off there, and I guess they'll wait a little while, but they're going to leave
Well,
pretty much as soon as they can after that.
when can, is there a extra anchor on board these fisherman ship?
Let's see, would they have an extra one of those? I guess they would, yes. They would have an extra one of those. It was cut off, so it might take some time to fix that. I believe, let's see, yes, you could winch it all the way up and then tie it on as necessary. It might require some doing, more or less. some ability checks to successfully do, but yes, there is an extra anchor, and the fishing vessel is at this moment more or less functional.
So it would be Jordan's suggestion to the group to essentially have the merchant ship tow the one ship as close to the shore as possible. And I'm imagining that is there a rowboat on the fishing ship?
Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
Yeah, hold up.
What game is Canadian, right?
This game is Cadian, yep.
Okay. I gotta try to get my internet's messed up. Trying to get my hotspots connected here.
Okay. Yeah, if you need a few more minutes, it's fine. Just catch
So,
up. Let me actually resolve some things here then. First of all, who is going to attempt to reattach the anchor? So actually, no, that's the wrong way to phrase it. The question I'm wondering is, do you guys attempt to attach the anchor back down so that it's functioning as it normally would? Or do you attach the anchor and then just throw it over the side of the ship?
Well, attaching the anchor regardless would be pretty easy.
Yes, doing the actual attachment is not the difficult part. The problem is, well, the question, it's not really a problem. Is whether you want to attach it as normal. Okay, so that means that somebody will need to swim beneath the ship while it's not moving and tie the new anchor to the rope.
Keegan,
Sounds simple enough.
how about if I cast water breathing on Smitty?
Oh, that'll work.
I mean,
I mean, I can also breathe underwater, so and so we can do this.
I can't breathe underwater. I just
Okay.
don't have to breathe.
Not breathe underwater.
So matter of fact, Jordan will refresh his ritual for the group.
Okay. The big question more is the actual check, not necessarily the breathing underwater part. So who's doing the swimming?
Or I'll do that then. If I can
Alright.
breathe underwater, I'll definitely do it.
Okay, so I need a athletic. Well, basically what it is a strength check. You can add your proficiency if you have proficiency in the athletics or vehicles with water.
I'll go with athletic.
Are you trying to compensate for the weight?
Because all we need, if it has a crank, all we have to do is just tie the rope back up.
No. The extra anchor is actually going to be lighter, and the fishing ship isn't going to be big enough for it to be too much of an issue. The problem is the swimming part. Oh, you're swimming in the ocean and surface water of the ocean. Okay. Okay. So with a 20, that will be sufficient, even with the extra weight of the anchor, to swim underneath and tie the rope off. I'm going to assume Smithy has sleight of hand. All right, yeah.
You want to plan.
Yeah. So you tie that up without any particular issue. You probably even have done this before. So the second thing to resolve was the inspection of the flags that that Keegan does. So is anybody else so the question I'm wondering more so is, am I gonna save that scene for later when you're ready to run that, Zach, or is other people gonna be there, and so other people can be there and you can just assist with it? So I guess this is the question for everybody else. Does anybody assist Keegan with inspecting the flags?
I think Jordan's been hanging around them as we kind of poked around the ship. I know we were on the chat together,
Yeah,
Probably John would probably look at these flags with them. I mean, that'd be fine.
that's fine. Yeah, it's also in the same place where the spare anchor is, so it's not, it's not completely out of the way or anything. It's just all right. So yeah, so Jorlin and Keegan, you guys are there in that part of the ship, and you have a box. The box is filled to the brim with various equipment, presumably. You can tell because it's heavy. And when you pull the top off, you can see kind of a quickly stuffed flag of probably of Keelan, kind of on top. And you can see that there's some stitching that has been done to fix it.
And you said Keelan?
That's the name of the nation that you guys are,
Oh,
that Saltmarsh is.
I know John will ask Keegan if do they want to fly the flag? Do we want to put up the flag?
Which flag are we talking about?
Is this the torn flag?
Yes.
Can we see how well it was repaired?
Very well. I mean, not, done by somebody who has practiced doing it, but also, it's not brand new. It's a stitch.
Well, I can just walk up and tie it up if you want.
John would leave that up to Keegan. John- I didn't
The
quite
merchant ship definitely does. Probably has about, I'll say 4.
So here's my idea. I think we need to talk to the merchant ship, see if they'll essentially just let us use a rowboat. We drop anchor.
Tow it.
Yeah,
How much rowboat cost?
I don't know.
Maybe we just off
I
on.
think it's only 54.
He's getting something out of it.
But anyway, we can weigh anchor for the fishing ship close to where the smoke's coming from, row in on the rowboat, and then see about saving the people and then going back out to the ship. That's my
The-
suggestion. To the
Yeah,
group.
the first mate, or sorry, yeah. So So I'll wait for you to ask the thing. Keep going.
And do you guys like that plan or?
Well,
So
nobody else
they should
prepared
just
it.
give us one. We're rescuing people. It's not like we're gonna use it for our own gain. We'll bring it back to them. We'll see them in Saltmarsh and give it back to them.
Define game. What's the RQ?
Does the other ship have a rowboat and it's missing, or just is not supposed to have one?
You're not sure. You think that it's more likely that the size of a boat means that it doesn't have one. But also some people would put a rowboat on a ship of this size, so it's kind of a little bit of an open question as to whether
Maybe
they
if-
have one or not.
What size ship are we on now?
So there are two ships, the one that you've recently fixed and the one that you have been sailing on, that is the merchant vessel. The Silver Hall, the fishing ship, is about that big. It's on roll 20. Roughly 100 feet from
Stern to
back
bow.
from stern to bow, yeah, back to front. And so yeah, not a huge ship by any stretch of the imagination. The merchant vessel is much larger. You would classify it as a
Ship, not a boat.
sailing ship, not a warship, but a sailing ship.
The
So which
fishing,
one are we taking?
So you have found an extra fishing vessel, which more or less is like a keel boat, probably.
It's on
Maybe,
the,
yeah.
one,
Yeah,
I'm
there's a
looking, there's,
Yeah, no, it'd be closer to a keel boat.
like a 40-foot boat.
It's actually 100 feet.
Oh,
So it's
okay,
definitely not a small keel boat.
but
Is
it's a deep, it's a deep hulled boat, right?
Deep hold.
Yeah, it's got the V hull instead of a flat hull.
That is
it's
a technicality that I am not clear on what that means.
trust
It
me,
means what the bottom of the boat looks like. Is it,
Oh,
does it
yes.
ride shallow
Yes.
or does it ride
Yes.
deep?
yes, it's a V, not a flat. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
I'd like to
So
point
we
out a rope.
definitely will need a rowboat or two if they can let us use two.
Or the 50 gold. I'll talk to the captain and pay for one.
Why would we pay for them? We're not,
Well,
we can
you
give
go
it
to the-
back to them in Salt
Yeah,
Marsh after we rescue everyone,
But why would we give it back to him?
because we don't need it. Are you
Why?
planning on living out in this water forever? I want to get these people rescued and then go back to land.
That I am. Yes.
I'm living out here.
Well, then. If you guys want to buy a boat, go for it. I'm not
Ultimately,
having no part of that.
I know you want a boat. I don't know if you want a rowboat forever.
No, rowboat for this ship, which is for that ship over there.
Why, is this ship ours now? Somehow, this is,
Right.
belongs to us?
Hasn't been clarified.
Not entirely, but it's also not entirely not far, if you understand my meaning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right, well, it's loot of the sea, I know that, so if you find an abandoned boat, then it's,
it had to survive.
And then there was a survivor.
oh.
Yeah.
Well,
And ultimately, I think we could just borrow a boat, Smith. They're gonna go away and for a long time.
Just when we know who the boat belongs to, so.
You do. More or less. You're not sure, but you're pretty sure you do.
So, does that sound like a good plan, guys?
yes,
I was talking with my dog, so I wasn't listening. So,
Is your- Is your dog's name Polly too?
Or no, my dog's name's Grindle.
Grendel, cool.
Grindle.
Anyway,
Best name for a dog that you didn't know you wanted.
Does rudder work on the ship?
Oh. Okay, I'm not doing it. That's it.
Gesundheit. Does the runner work on the ship?
Rudder.
Yes. The rudder, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think the rudder was damaged.
So unless someone else wants to do the talking, I mean, Jarl will be fine in asking for the rowboat. Do you want to do the talking, Smitty, or not?
You know I'm very good
Yeah, the charm, it's oozing.
Yeah, I can hear
Try
it.
to get two of them.
Yeah, no, Joel, when you handle it today.
Okay.
All right.
Jarl will make his way and try and find the first mate.
Okay, the first mate is out on deck of the merchant vessel, more or less just looking at the crewmates, making sure they're doing their job, and I don't know, making sure no one's getting themselves in a place where they would injure themselves. Managing, more or less. He's the manager.
And then I'd say, we had a question, as we're coming, back towards the shoreline. How many would fit in the rowboat?
Our rowboats, they can fit up to 8. Might be a little cramped for big sailors, but
We would like to essentially borrow one of your rowboats. Drop anchor on the fishing ship close to where we need to go. Use the rowboat to save the men and ferry the men back to the ship. And I know that you want to leave, but we do need the rowboat to accomplish this.
Well, we were going to offer you a rowboat to get you to the shore. Do you think the fishing vessel can't make it to a beach?
It theoretically could make it to a beach, but the problem with the fishing vessel is that the hull's been compromised. And if we were to beach it, there's no guarantee that it would go back out to sea. It's patched from stem to stern.
Okay, well, you've convinced me that it would be dangerous. How are you going to borrow the rowboat though?
I mean, you'll make it back to Saltmarsh eventually, right?
Yeah, but we'll probably want more than 4. That's something I'll have to speak to the captain about, honestly. But
we're here trying to save men's lives.
yes,
and I know, of course, I'm not exactly a sailor like my friend Smitty, but I know that sailors lend aid in these type of things.
roll your persuasion check for Jordan.
Our SOS check must be, rendered, if at all possible. What we think.
I know my friend Smitty had mentioned maybe trying to buy one.
He kind of looks at you, kind of seems wishy-washy about it, and he says, let me speak to the captain. One moment. And he heads inside. A little while later, probably less than a minute later, he will come out and he will say, we will let you borrow one of the rowboats for credit in Saltmarsh. In other words, you may do whatever you'd like with the rowboat, but If you wish to trade it to someone, trade it to Saltmarsh, and they can give, like the council, for example, could give credit to you for when we return.
Well,
Because
I
you will
can't-
need, you will need to purchase another rowboat before we get to Saltmarsh again.
Right. How much is a rowboat?
50 gold,
15 or 50?
50, 50. That's the HP.
That's-
And for the convenience of having it right now, we'll make it 6 feet.
Where you can
But
find
it's not-
one, where
Here.
you're getting
It's
one.
used, a little battered, a little
What?
worn there. If it worked for necessity, I'd say it worked no more than 30,
Is,
but I'm willing to get.
Whoa, slow down, guys, slow down.
oh,
Terry,
No.
you were hold up for a second. Terry, you are breaking up. We did not hear what you said. Could you say it again?
Actually, he may need to
Or-
log off and log back on again.
Yeah.
Here,
Bad rope.
I just.
Yeah, your connectivity is no good. We cannot hear you at all. Pretty much. We can hear that you're talking. We can't hear what you're saying. Try reconnecting or whatnot. Yeah. Was Dorland saying something? Because I did definitely heard Smithy, that's for sure. Sorry. You're good.
Well, why don't we let Terry go first and then Jordan will go after.
Okay. Try to say something, Terry. I think his internet is sad and there's not much we can do about that.
You may want to try typing on roll 20, Terry, if you can hear us. So Jordan, he looks maybe a little pouty.
Sure.
He reaches in his satchel and he pulls out a black pearl. And he says, well, if you give me 40 gold pieces or 50 gold pieces, I can give you this black pearl.
The first thing will hold their hand out to look at it.
So 50 gold pieces on a rowboat.
Can I see it?
Yeah.
He takes it, he looks at it quite carefully. Kind of smells it a little bit. That's black pearl.
Indeed.
All right. Yeah, we can give you some change. He gives you back the black pearl, goes back into the captain's quarters. A little while later, you'll come out with a small bag of coins.
Okay.
It says, it's in platinum.
Oh. Thank you so much. That actually is very handy.
So you look at it, you can see that there are 5 pieces of platinum.
Yeah. Jordan is a proud owner of a rowboat.
Yep. More or less.
Going from no boat to rowboat.
Yeah, but how much did you pay for that pearl? Like the gold?
Yeah.
It wasn't very much, yeah.
Don't tell him that.
Okay.
He will take the black pearl and he'll bring it back into the captain's quarters, which more or less just involves the captain sticking his head out, him handing the black pearl to him, and captain going back inside. He will say, do you need one of our sailors to get you over to the shore with the rowboats? Obviously, we'll be dropping off from our ship, but do you need assistance getting to the shore?
I think Smitty, I think between us and Smitty and Keegan, we should be able to get over to the shore without much problem.
Okay. the captain has been looking for a good place to land the ship, more or less near the shore, which is why he's busy right now. So we'll get you close. You might have to do a little walk. And so, having paid for the rowboat in the hopes of getting some credit back from the council, and having obtained information about what had occurred on the ship, and having no particular intent to raise the flag of Keeland on the fishing ship, and having the anchor repaired, you are dropped off not too far away from where you once, just not a few days ago, had a rock. Let's see what the distance is on this one.
How much day is it?
What day is it? Is that what you asked? Or what time of day?
Oh, time of day.
Yeah,
I guess what day is it also? I'm kind of interested, but I have no, I don't know what the
I will,
calendar.
yep. I have.
Can
yep,
you hear
I
me
have a
now?
calendar. We can, success.
All right,
All right.
I just got off my Wi-Fi,
Very well.
going through my phone.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
And that's a fair question. What did Terry try to say about the social encounter at the first meet?
Oh, I was just saying that we probably have to pay a little more, seeing as it's a matter of convenience that he's supplying us for the boat, rowboat,
Mhm.
and it's gonna be credit instead of just, paying for it.
It does seem like they are willing to foot whatever that extra cost is, though, as the words of Jorlin get to them. And, the pearl will seem to interest them. So, with that said, this is what I was looking for. You guys arrive at shore at around 4 p.m. You get to an area where, while there are some rocks nearby, there is a small beachfront, more or less, that has kind of a rocky crag kind of path. Well, it's not a real path, but a rocky crag for you to travel upward. You are in your rowboats. You've rowed to shore. You can see the Silver Hall not too far out from your current location. And further inland, you can see the smoke of a signifier. What do you guys do?
Jordan's going to follow Keegan.
All right. I'm going to assume that Keegan is traveling to help the sailors then. Since
Heavy is Dorland.
Pretty much headed in the I'll be kind of taking up the rear and possibly looking back at the shoreline as long as I can to see if any of those sea demons are coming out to grab our rowboat.
okay, fair enough.
How heavy is Dorland?
Probably too heavy to carry. even though he was small.
Put lady
Keegan
on,
Keegan was pretty strong. Never mind. Maybe he'll be okay.
I can maybe help, or am I not on the boat?
You're on the boat. You're gonna help carry Jorlin.
well, no, I don't need to be
Boat,
carried.
boat.
Jorlin's like, what? Oh, yeah.
No, the boat. I thought we wanted to move the boat on land.
So,
So,
yeah, we'll back it up off the shore a little bit, but I mean,
yeah, so to be clear, you can see the Silver Hall is not too far from where you have dragged the rowboat onto the small beach shore that would eventually lead to the rest of the swamps. Immediately around you is some kind of rocky outcropping, but you know that will quickly change to a much more marshy condition. That is the circumstance.
oh, as a matter of fact, I think I'll leave Polly at the boat. All right,
That was a ship or the rowboat.
the rowboat.
Got it.
With the express, that if anything weird comes around, anything frightening, he is to fly immediately to me. Fly up in the air, find me, and let me know.
Very well.
Which I think,
I'm
you know, some things are mental contact, some things, I don't know, we'll walk farther away than that.
I'm gonna put lady on overhead watch.
All right.
Oh,
So you guys are heading further. You guys are heading further inland. Okay. So I need everybody to roll me an athletics check.
He said this,
Yes.
do you have a magical bird too? And he pops out owl.
No, I do not.
Oh. Okay, maybe we should get one.
oh,
Yep. I need athletics checks from everybody.
Can you make that for me, Isaac?
I got a 19.
There is, oh, you said, wait, who got a 19?
I got a 19.
So, with a little bit of assistance for Caliban, the group makes their way up the rocky slope without issues, as well as makes their way through the surprisingly nice walking along the shore of the marsh. The group who had traveled here before will note a distinct difference between walking along the shore and walking through the center, more or less, in that it seems there is some kind of natural terrain right along the shore that keeps the marsh from getting too, that kind of goes upward a bit, and therefore keeps the marsh from getting too wet and going up to your boots and knees and such. And it's still a little soft, especially as you go further in inland with a group of your size. But more or less, this is like a nice park walk, effectively. And so you guys make your way over to the signal fire without much issue. However, At this point, I need everyone to do two things for me. First, roll me initiative. And then I would like to know what everybody's passive perceptions are. Ooh. And go ahead and tell me what Lady's passive perception is as well, since that's what they were doing.
I it's 13.
So it says 2.
Wait. Last time we talked about this, I don't remember if I said I was gonna do it. Last time we rolled initiative, I was using the ability to, my ability to have advantage on initiative. I don't know if you remember.
What does it come from?
It's a Twilight feature, Twilight Fairy feature.
Is that not a feature you have to like give to somebody?
Yeah, you can give it to myself or somebody else.
Okay. Trying to remember who you gave it to last, because that wouldn't have changed. But for now, we'll just say it was yourself. That's fine. It might have been yourself.
Okay.
That's fine. Oh, got it.
Yeah, I didn't have to hit my token apparently.
Nope, you're good. I'm just putting you in.
Uh-huh. Where is my token anyway?
All right. Yes. Yeah. All right. I think that's right. So
No,
22.
yeah. I didn't get a 13. I got a 19 and something.
Okay. Your passive perception was the 13.
That was my passive.
Yeah. So
So
the ordering that I have for the group is Civis at 22, Keegan at 20, Katie at 19, Jorlin at 13, Smithy at 11, and Calvin at 8.
I went next to that.
15 for a 10.
What about 15? You're breaking up again, by the way.
Katie
Katie got
for
it.
an initiative.
All right. So
Change it.
abilities would be the highest. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So Lady lets Jorlin know that there are big lizards, more or less, ahead of you.
Charlie will warn the group. There are big lizards. There are lizard men in front of us.
The direction you're going.
Getting my axes ready.
All right. And on that note, Cherry, why don't you roll me a 1d8?
1d8. Copy that.
We have one person who's drawn their weapons. Does anybody else?
Yeah, I'll draw a knife or dagger, I should say.
Okay.
And my shield.
5.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Drawing both this.
How many?
Dun, dun, dun.
How many lizards are we talking about?
You don't know the number yet.
Not enough.
Not enough. Yeah. It's not even gonna be a challenge. Exactly. So as you guys get closer towards the fire, probably within would be like under 15 minutes of walking towards your destination. Actually, yeah, it'll be closer to 30 actually, but a bit under that. You will see 2 lizard folk. They are carrying metal. Nope, these ones are not. They are carrying clubs and shield that has been made from a combination of a tortoise's shell and with what looks to be like bone spikes protruding from them. And you guys see 2 of them. And they kind of turn and see you.
So I assume we're not talking to them.
Oh, I'm gonna talk at least first. I'll hail out stop in common and in goblin.
They look at each other, look at you, and do not respond. And then the other one of the 2, makes a motion with its club, and the other one heads towards the smoke signal, which has gotten quite close at this point.
Well, I'm not letting them signal anyone. I'm running, I'm charging
All right.
for the
Well, we
one
just had
going
you roll
for the
initiative.
smoke signal.
So that's convenient for me.
All right,
All right.
I guess we're fighting.
I guess we are. Interesting. Okay. Yep. So they will definitely not act first. Let me roll something. quick. Yeah, the group sees that Cadian is itching for a fight more or less, or at the very least is cautious of one.
Taking the advantage.
Yeah, taking the initiative. And so so Civis,
Literally.
you will act first, but you see that Cadian's about to go after them.
All right, is there a rock nearby that I can get within 20 feet of them that's about 15 feet tall?
Dang.
Or a tree?
15-foot tall rock? No. A 15-foot tall tree? Yeah, definitely.
All right, I'm going to move to it and then run up it and get to my little perch. And I'm going to throw my dagger at the one that's heading to the fire.
Okay, make me an attack roll.
That'll be a 22 total to hit.
That will hit.
And the dagger will deal 8 points of piercing damage.
All right.
And you know what? He can make a Constitution saving throw.
You can try, that's for sure. He
Oh,
can
sorry,
crit
it's
fail, that's for sure.
You got the saving throw wrong, but if he crit fails, it doesn't matter.
He doesn't know. Doesn't matter.
So he's going to, once the dagger hits him, he's going to have chains of fire wrap around them.
Okay.
He's going to take 11 points of fire damage and be restrained for 1 minute. by fiery shackles.
Okay.
He gets to repeat the saving throw at the end of the turn, and when he succeeds, they just vanish. He'll take another 2d6 at the start of each of his turns.
Oh, okay.
And that
Well,
was my
well,
turn.
well. Just showing off. All right, so the one who I am naming for convenience, Joe, is restrained.
And that'll be my turn.
Keegan is up next. By the way, that did not drop it.
I
You
figured.
guys know I could just talk to them, right?
I didn't know that.
That's true.
Well, that's what I was saying. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Something. I mean, he'll. I said he jauntily follows Cadian, but more. He's not really gonna attack anything yet. He's just gonna come in and do what Cadian does.
Okay. Seems good. You ready in action to follow Cadian, more or less. Then it is actually which one roll which. Let's see. That's one, that's two. Okay. The one that is restrained takes more damage from the fiery chains. And then we'll do something else. What was the? I think you're still having internet issues there, Terry. Unfortunately.
Draw. I don't even know if these guys are enemies yet.
Just a question.
Talking.
I believe it's Cadian. Oh, sorry, it's my turn. Well, so it will be Cadian's turn, but yeah, we'll get to that. So this one just got wrapped up in chains, is restrained. Okay. So the save is made at the end of the turn, but they can use their action for something else. Is that right, Alex?
Yeah, the save is done at the end of the turn. They start the turn by taking damage, which will be another 4 points of fire damage. And they are restrained.
Yes. Okay, let's see. Do they have a range weapon? Yes, they do. They will throw a javelin at you, since you just attacked them with a fiery dagger. And let's see if they hit. Oh, I guess they probably went here too. So, there will be a disadvantage. Yeah. Strange condition.
This one hurt.
All right. Okay. Does a 13 hit Civis?
No.
All right. This lizard folk named Joe, question mark, takes the 2 javelins that he has on his back while trying to get out of these chains and kind of chucks them at you very haphazardly. One probably hits the tree that you're in. The other one, he like drops, just like at his feet.
I'm gonna be stealing that.
Sure, you do that. And that is his turn, but now he makes a strength save.
Yeah. The DC is 13.
He will pass the DC.
Okay, he breaks free.
All right, Cadian charges Joe. Yes, I can roll for him.
No, I'll roll. I can roll.
Okay,
I'm
go for it.
Just say out loud that he is able to talk to them.
Yep, that is true.
Can you guys hear an echo?
No,
I'm just doing the sound through my laptop. No,
very well.
let me know if it gets,
Chromatic. Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, as you charge this one, yes, you are next to it. Can you dash as a bonus action?
Me?
Yeah, or
Yeah,
what's your movement more specifically?
It's 35.
35. Okay. So you throw. You have to throw one of these things. One of your hand axes.
Hand X? Okay.
Yeah. Well, you can use the same though. That's fine.
You want me to just roll a hand X for the damage?
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
All right.
It does.
I'll take 10 instead.
Nice. Even more damage. All right. Hand axe hits this lizard folk. Doesn't like that. Keegan, you keep pace. You follow up and can actually get in front of you want Cadian, but that Gideon's movement triggered your ready action, so you are now along with him. Drawing, your turn.
Well, I was gonna send lady to over where the fire is to see if there's more lizard men. Although that might take a minute.
A lady says yes.
If you say and to Silvis,
Now you're breaking him, so.
I thought that was me.
you're making a mistake attacking them. I think you're making a mistake attacking them. But I'm going to ready a cantrip if someone attacks me.
Okay.
It wasn't me, it was Cadian.
Yep, that's true.
That's
Well,
true. I'm thinking
I
of
mean-
the 2 before there's 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Technically, it was Civis, because Civis.
We should maybe talk to them for 20 minutes and let their buddies come, and then we'll get our butts split. How about we just be proactive?
As I said, it really depends on what your ultimate goal is and presumptions are. Drolin readies an action. Does Drolin follow? Because a lot of the party is moving forward.
Yeah, I'll move 25 feet.
Okay.
Which is my movement.
Sounds good. Smithy.
How far away are they from you, Cole?
There is the closer one, which is Bob, who is uninjured. Everybody's been going after Joe, who went towards, who started going towards the fire, the signal fire. But let's see, follows this. So Bob is about 20 feet away, while Joe is about would be
Probably 50.
yeah, it's actually closer to, let's see, because 20, it'd be 45 feet.
Oh, okay. Now, so Joe, the far away, is 45 feet away.
Yeah.
I want to use my movement get as close to him as possible, and then I'm gonna pull this action dash to up my movement to 60, so I can use 45 to get to him. I'm going to stick him with my little stick him with my rapier with the booming blade.
Make an attack.
And
And you do have sneak attack because there's no one else near you.
Yeah.
That would be. That includes the sneak attack. Okay, so that's 29.
yeah. And then
Alright.
if you, and then I'm going to use the rest of my 15 movement to put myself between him and the fire. So I'm going to be even 15 feet further away from him.
So you don't have 15 feet because you had to move around Bob's reach.
Oh,
But you
how
will
much?
be between him and the fire. You'll be about 5 feet. It also won't matter because he's dead.
Oh,
You won't get past, oh,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Bob,
in this case, not kill him? Could I, do the?
I will. Well, so I actually I just realized, was your attack roll a 13?
Yeah.
Okay, he doesn't die because you don't hit him.
Oh,
I bet.
okay.
For some reason, I saw the big damage numbers and went, oh, those will hit. And then I went, oh, wait, hold on. That's all right.
Advantage because I left Polly at the thing. Oh, so I can still move out of his reach.
Hasn't the people of Saltmarsh been at war with the lizard men?
no,
Yeah,
That's not to say they like them, but they have not been at war with the lizard. There's no declaration of war.
okay, well, I just made one.
But well, maybe you did, or maybe you didn't. It depends. Okay, so you go to attack this one, and for a moment you're like, I've killed him, and then he just like stands up, and you're like, what the? It was like a grazing shot that looked like it would have destroyed him, but
I'm not going to cut and scratch a line in the rock with my rapier and be like, do not cross this line if you wish to value your skin. I'm sure he doesn't understand. So
yeah, you say that in common, so he doesn't understand you. Caliban spends his turn saying, we should not be attacking them. Stop attacking them. What are you guys doing? Yeah,
Are we starting the next round? Or
well, so he says that you can respond if you'd like. Anybody can respond to a player. If a player says something, especially to another player, they can respond to that. So
why?
why are we not attacking lizard men?
Because they have
why are we
information.
attacking them? Do you really think we can win a fight against them? They have like a whole like military literally within a mile or less of us.
That's fine, but only 2 of them are here, and if we kill these 2, then we don't have to worry about the military. We can continue with our search. What do you think they were gonna do? They're gonna take us hostage, and then we'll be at their mercy, and I'm not gonna be a lizardman's mercy.
Caliban
If we
is
kill
about.
them,
Go ahead. Sorry. No, go ahead.
if we kill them, then we are gonna be wanted by the lizard men.
Okay, how are they gonna
We're-
know?
Let's
Uh,
see,
At this point,
Ranger,
pause for a second. That conversation happens during Caliban's turn. Bob, the one you guys have been ignoring, pulls from his side a horn and goes,
There you go.
that's how. Answering their question. Civis, your turn. Actually, that will not be his full turn because he can still hit somebody if he wants to. So he will move over to Smithy, next to Joe, which I don't think brings him out of the reach of anybody, and attack Smithy.
Bitch.
Oh,
Another crit fail, no problem, whatever. There's a 14 misses. Civis.
All right. I'm gonna throw another dagger at him. Well, Bob's dead, so Joe.
Sorry, neither of them died. I forgot that
Oh.
Joe dodged. He's a trained warrior.
21 to hit.
21 definitely hits Joe, the injured one.
For only 6 points of piercing.
All right.
And I'm gonna pick up the javelin that he got stuck in the tree beside me. And that'll be my turn.
All right. Keegan.
How far away are they?
From you,
Yeah.
they are as close as you want them to be, honestly. Because you had-
You will just join Smithy.
All right, so you move around them, providing a wall with Smithy next to you.
Like, yeah.
Yep.
Next to Smithy if possible, and then, actually, no. I guess being right next to Smithy is back to Smithy, isn't it? I guess going to, so, hang on, do you have the map up? Do you have the map up on roll 20?
I have, yeah, I have a little bit of a visual aid, yeah. Mhm.
Keegan, can you talk to him?
Yeah, I can talk to them, but I don't know how good it will do now.
As long as they're not dead, we could still parlay.
That's fair enough. Let me see the, if it's a minute, I can't do it now.
Tongues, I believe, is an action. I will double check.
No. No.
Tongues is an action.
What he will do, he'll cast on.
Okay. That is your action. What would you like to do?
Yep.
You want to say something to him?
Yeah, please yield so my friends don't kill you.
Hmm. Roll me intimidation. I would also allow persuasion, by the way.
I'm better at one of those. Oh. You said persuasion or intimidation?
Good choice. Yep.
I have that equally bad at both. It's a -2.
Perfect. Okay. The one that Smithy and everybody has been attacking will, as a free action, drop its weapon. Its club. Joe's turn. That's the one who just dropped the weapon and takes the dodge action. Katie.
You don't attack him, Smithy.
I'm waiting for the Cadian does what Cadian wants.
That's right.
Well, I'm going to just de-escalate and stop my whatever 15 feet away from me and hold my axes towards the ground, fuming just before rage.
You're about to rage, and then you. Fine.
But when we all get killed, I'm gonna kill you guys first.
I'm gonna punch you out. Jordan. I will continue initiative to the end and see what everybody's doing.
How close is Jorlin to the lizard man?
About 20 feet.
All right, my movement is 25.
Okay.
Jorlin is going to walk over to the injured lizard man.
Okay.
Pull out some white gauze and start bandaging his wound. If he'll let me.
It will take an action to pull out a healer's kit or something of similar note, but you can do that. Yes.
Okay.
Cindy.
I'll pick up the dude's weapon. We dropped it.
Roll me a charisma. Hold up. Roll me a charisma saving throw for Smithing. Actually, let me pause you there first. If you do that, you will provoke. Do you wish to intentionally allow a provoke to occur, or do you disengage intentionally?
I'd still be wary. I would disengage intentionally.
Okay. Never mind.
Pick up the weapon, pulling it over to some brush somewhere, and then proceed to try to tie him up with my rope.
Okay.
Smitty, we're about to be joined by a
More.
bunch of lizard men.
Yeah.
Perhaps not tying up their friend and just playing it off like we made a mistake might be our best move.
Or maybe showing them that we have a hostage.
It's up to you.
I'm gonna be standing beside Caddy and I'm gonna collect my
I'm thinking about the one I had
daggers.
tied up.
That's fine.
I'm gonna say I don't understand why we're not killing them.
If you attack your captain and they're like, fucking go ahead and kill him.
That didn't work so well with Sambalay, did it?
It didn't work out so well.
So perhaps we don't.
The leg.
And perhaps we don't need to repeat that process.
Yeah. I mean, it was like, it didn't work out last time. I lost my leg. I'll just search him instead. I'll start searching him for any other weapon.
The one who is, well, so you search him for other weapons. The only thing that could be, the two things that could be construed as weapons is he also has a horn. Maybe you consider that threatening. And his shield is spiked. He has already thrown his two javelins. I guess you can grab the one he dropped at his feet when you grab the club. Do you try to take a shield away from him?
Yeah.
You may as well give him his weapon back at this point.
So make me a charisma saving throw for Smithy. Well, actually, it's not your turn yet, so I'll wait. Keegan. you are speaking to the one who threw his weapon away when he says to you, since you actually understand him. Are you pirates?
What is it about being a pirate?
No, we're just here to rescue somebody. My friend over there must have misseen you and mistook you for some water creatures that we had a run in the other day with.
What sort of creatures?
Hello?
What sort of creatures? By the way, does anybody speak Draconic?
Garland does.
You understand what he's saying?
Oh, I know that.
Sorry, something happened, I guess.
You're good. I will say Jorland's form, well, we'll call it accent of Draconic, is clearly a more studious form, technical form, you know, thou art kind of thing, whereas this one's very much kind of like a practical form, accented, that sort of stuff. But it's definitely
Did you
Draconic,
hear
and you can
anything I
definitely understand it. I heard what you said, yes. You said, my friend mistook you as monsters that you saw before, and he asked what the monsters look like.
He would talk to Keegan, or I mean, he would mention to Dorland to show him a picture of something, whatever Dorland wants.
So I'm going to, the one Sahuagin I saw, I'm gonna, in my mind, I'm gonna alter the shapes of the fins and alter his face a little bit. I don't want to show him the prisoner that they have, but I want to show him a Sahuagin. Does that make sense?
Yep, that's fine. Make me a, do you have like painting or sculpting as a tool proficiency?
My spell saving DC is 17.
That's not what I asked.
I have knowledge,
Ian?
history, and religion,
Mm, nope.
and investigation.
No. All right. So make me a flat charisma check. Performance, yes, exactly. Okay.
I make a
I guess-
crude Sahuagin.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, very well.
My opinion on this is, if I were to do a silent image of a Sahuagin, they would have to roll a 17 not to believe it.
Right. Yes, and Joe doesn't need to believe it to see it, the image, because it becomes kind of clear and not real once they know it's an illusion. But he looks at it, looks at you, looks at it again, looks at you again, and then says, you were attacked by these?
We think so, yes. They had attacked humans in a fishing boat, and they were mostly underwater.
Then come with us. By the way, during this conversation, both Cadian and Smithy have had enough time, and technically Jarlin as well, have all had enough time to do something. So we are effectively out of initiative, but I remember Smithy saying he was maybe going to tie him up. Jordan may be saying he was going to bandage him, and Gideon could choose to do something else if you want.
I'm gonna walk over and grab my hand axe, but it's probably somewhere near the guy that I stuck it in.
That's
Put
fine.
it back on my thing, and start walking back away from everybody.
That's fine.
As Jorlin, now ultimately, I'm not really even intending to make a medicine check. The idea here was for him to see that I'm trying, quote unquote, trying to bandage his wounds.
Well, I'll say that.
Call it goodwill.
Yes, I'll say your earlier performance check was exactly that, a sign of goodwill. Involved with the bandages. And they seem to be taking it more or less, they seem to be accepting it more or less.
Yeah, until there's a whole group of them there, and then
Well, maybe.
shit's gonna change.
So Jorlin's gonna say to the lizard man, yeah, let me talk to my friends real quick, and yes, we should follow you. Jorlin's gonna look at especially Cadian.
Hold up.
Yeah.
You will hear Joe nod, and then Bob will turn to Joe and say, the rest of them should be here in less than a minute. You don't,
So-
that's the time you have. Joe then says to Jordan.
I tell them I won't be tied up.
No, they surrendered to us.
Well, yeah, I think we need to try and communicate with these guys.
Oh, well, go ahead. I'll be right here.
I mean, I think, Keegan, what do you think?
I think we could have somebody go start rescuing the soldiers or the sailors.
Well, we're not gonna be able to do that now. You know that, right? We're about to be taken prisoner.
No, we're not.
No?
No.
I don't
Okay.
think so.
All right, we'll
What
see.
makes you say that?
Well, besides the fact that I stuck a hand axe in a guy's chest,
No, I'm talking about not being taken prisoner.
yeah. We're about to be taken prisoner. We're probably gonna have to be bound and then taken wherever they want, and then we'll be at their mercy.
I'll point at Joe. Out over this guy's dead body right there while I be taken prisoner, baby.
But I haven't put my axes away.
That's fine.
Does lady see anything around the bonfire?
Yes, lady says the sailors are around the bonfire. Some seem wrapped up.
Okay. Jorlin's gonna talk to Keegan and his group. So yeah, the sailors are definitely around the bonfire. My familiar just told me.
Nah. Let's go get them out of here then.
Jorlin's gonna look at the two lizardmen and he's gonna point towards the bonfire. Our friends are there. We're going to get them.
We will bring you to them. Bob says.
Okay, let's go.
Keep up.
It's around this point where a lizard folk with, let's see here, with a mace,
Ooh, metal.
made of metal, and a spiked shield like the other two, wearing metal armor, flanked by about 5 other lizard folk. Sorry, 4 other lizard folk arrive. you see Joe kind of go up to them, start talking to them, and pretty quickly, the one with the metal weapon just kind of pushes them off to the side. And let's see. This one. It comes up and says, "Do you speak Draconic?"
No.
Exactly.
I can
I do.
understand you.
And I know Keegan does, and Jordan.
That was in Draconic, by the way. And then it says, let's see, actually, a list of things here. Actually, what it says is, I am the
Put her out with,
mm,
I was trying to figure out what you wanted, but you dropped it down and you had it.
one of the, I am one of the veterans of this group. We have been protecting your sailors. What are your abilities?
Yeah.
And you.
I don't know if Keegan wants to answer.
Okay, he's muted, so.
Oh, well, then I can answer.
No, I just muted Michael, actually.
Keegan
Michael.
says healer. Keegan says a healer.
Magical healing? That's what he asks.
Jordan says, we don't know you that well, and we made a mistake happened here. I'm glad that it didn't go any further. We would be what humans call adventurers. I don't know if you know that word.
Yes. Another word.
We are mostly here to save our friends and to find out the cause of the problems.
Well, I can help you with the second one of those. The first may require some effort on your part. My name is Kapesk Usk, which more or
Jordan will
less,
translate. Jordan will translate as he's talking, so I don't have to repeat it.
yes, fair enough. Yeah. So yeah, that's what he says. Does anybody else want to respond to what he says?
How can you help us with the second part, the trouble?
He says, you want to know what has been going on, yes? We have answers for you.
Yes, we do.
Right. Follow us. And then he will make a motion, and Joe and most of the rest of the group will follow. You notice that one of the lizard folk that came with Capes stays with Bob.
Are they going towards the sailors or are they going back to where they came from?
They're going back to where they came from, which is towards the smoke.
Ah, okay.
So, do you guys follow?
Nope,
Okay.
I'm staying at this fire.
Yes, I'll follow.
We got two people who are following.
I'll go with Cadian.
Civis will stay. Caliban will stay. Where does Smithy go? Oh, you're muted. Hold up. Say it again. Where's Smithy going?
I was followed by that Storland to ask them what the condition of our sailors are. That's our primary goal at the moment, is to return sailors back to Saltmarsh.
Does John ask them?
Ask them about what, oh, the condition, sure.
He'll turn and he will say they're injured. Tired. Hungry. Well, shouldn't be hungry for much longer, but not good.
Gentleman says to Kadian, at first glance, and I've switched to common.
Yep.
At first glance, guys, these lizardmen are actually taking care of our sailors. Alrighty then.
I don't know who that's named for, but
It was aimed for you and especially for Kadian.
I don't believe that for a second, but I'll see it. When I see it, I'll believe it.
Okay.
Does that mean you go with them rather than staying behind? Or do you
Yeah,
stay behind?
if you need an extra body to save, then I'll go with them.
I don't care. I'm just asking you based on what you said. Also, Terry, if you are talking, you are muted.
I said I was gonna stay.
I was muted, yeah, sorry. No, I am not going with them, and I don't care what it appears like. I don't
Okay.
trust.
Okay. So the three of you, or sorry, does Smithy go with the investigative group more or less? Or not? Michael, you're muted.
All right, I'm going to where the sailors are. That's my primary goal, is to rescue the sailors,
Okay.
bring it to Saltmarsh. And yeah, I don't believe that they're taking care of. When he said they're hungry for now, I think like, oh, well, we'll be eating them soon. Is what
Sure, that's fine. So the three of you,
But
The
yeah,
three-
I gotta go.
sorry, say it again, Michael.
I'm very wary of these guys, but I've got to go towards the sailors and get them.
Okay. So the three of you, along with Keegan's owl, are traveling and are basically about to, you're heading forward and doing this when the group of lizard folk that Capes was leading kind of stopped. Capes kind of,
You would have went with them, sorry.
yeah. I got that. Capes kind of, you see Capes kind of come back around the group, and literally this is like maybe 30 feet from where this other group is that waited behind. Capes kind of looks and says, "They're not coming."
They want to stay behind.
And he kind of makes a motion, and you see all of the lizard folk stay. And he says, "Follow me." Except Joe, who goes with him.
Red flag number one, just saying.
Let's see. So he brought.
What are we protecting from out here?
I'll now be taking care of that guy's dead body.
Yeah, exactly. When you say that, Capes will say animals mostly. They grow large in the swamps.
All right.
Bugs in particular.
But
Just like me.
yeah,
Okay, so that group goes off, and before that group So you travel a little bit of a distance. It's like less than 5 minutes, it's like a few minutes away, where you start to see and hear the sounds of talking and stuff. You see that there are another 5 lizard folk, another 4 lizard folk, not including the 2 that you are with. So a total of 6 that are more or less on the perimeter of the fire and clearing that has been kind of made. One in particular is unique and notable because Jorlin has seen this lizard folk before. What he wears and carries on him is clearly something of someone of import. He does not carry a shield or a metal armor, but he does carry a metal morning star that is of a unique craftsmanship, a dagger and a staff. And the staff has some bones and scales and a few gem-looking things that hang from it in kind of a twine and rope-like things. This person seems like someone who is more shaman than warrior, although, as I said before, doesn't look like he's carrying a particularly like nasty morning star. So this one will turn to you as you guys approach, and you hear him say, "Pesk, who are these people?" He says, "Rescuers from Saltmarsh." And he says, interesting. I wish to talk with them then, and as I'm sure that they wish to talk with me and with the rest of the sailors. But food has just been finished, so, and then he kind of turns to you all and says in common, there is food provided by the fire we have gathered for you and your friends. Help yourself. Your immediate thought is, as you look over at the food, is A, wow, that's a lot of food, and B, wow, they don't do enough prep work on their food. It's like everything's roasted and everything's roasted wholesale, more or less. You can see a number of people are adding to the cooking job, but these lizard folk definitely don't have any qualms about grabbing a lizard, cooking it, and eating it as is.
Is there any raw pieces, like really bloody pieces that have been
Oh
cooked
yeah.
up?
Oh yeah, there's like some lizard folk who gets hungry and they just like grab like one of the things that was been killed, you know, like a rabbit or whatever, just as is.
Oh, she's gonna grab onto one of the bloodiest pieces she can get and just bite her fangs into it. And then
Alright.
she's just basically gonna drain it and it's just gonna lose all its color.
Yep.
And she's gonna throw it back in.
One of the lizard folk kind of looks at you and says, and grabs it and says something in the language you don't understand and hands it back to you. Damn it. I want to go
Well,
around.
now I just carry this huge chunk of meat with me now and I walk back.
That's right. What were you saying?
I want to go from sailor to sailor just to check on them, their condition, see how they are, if I recognize them, and also kind of whisper in the ear. Have they been treating you well? Are you prisoners?
More or less, the answer is that they haven't done anything to us. They have provided food or whatever, but you will note that a few of them will say kind of like, I mean, their hospitality, you know, is set, at a primitive level, and a number of them look injured pretty badly, actually. A few of them are even unconscious, with like things and stuff.
Keegan, come over here and help me with these. I know you'll. Oh, I can't speak that. Okay, yeah, Keegan, come over here and help me with these people. You're better at this than I am.
He wants to see if anybody looks exhausted.
You would say they all look exhausted from a sailor's standpoint, but you don't think that they're not like the other sailor. Like with him as a comparison, these people are in much better condition than he was. That said, I'm gonna jump over to the other group of Cadian and Civis, which I
One more
just
thing.
realized Civis wasn't there, so that doesn't happen, but keep going.
Remember, Captain Smithy was the one who showed up and braved the night to come sail to find you.
Sure,
And
yeah.
yeah, bring you again.
You get very little energy from these sailors, but they'll smile at that, you know, they'll accept that. So, Civis and Cadian, you guys are waiting with Caliban.
And who's with us?
Caliban, you three.
No, just us.
You
No
three
lizard men?
and 5 lizard soldiers.
Okay.
And let's see. One of the lizard men tries to strike up a conversation with you guys. I'm assuming none of you speak Draconic.
No.
Okay. Caliban does. Caliban responds and starts having a conversation with one of them. Just kind of off to the side.
So, need to turn the sound down. Other thing.
Imagine Cadian just being a typical dwarf and just fucking cursing the lizard folk under his breath.
No, I'm just staring. I'm keeping a good eye on everybody.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it to jump off.
At a certain point in that conversation that you guys do not understand, which feel free to, sorry. So the first thing first is, do either of you do anything while this is happening? Do you try to talk with one lizard folk? Do you try to talk to each other? Do you do anything different?
I tell Silas, is that Civius?
Civis, yeah.
If it gets to where it goes bad, one of us needs to get away to go tell people what happens to us, and I think you're probably faster than I am. So make sure you get away. But she's,
Civis, yeah, go ahead, Alex.
I'm not saying anything.
Okay.
My video is too loud, I guess.
Okay. At a certain point in that conversation, there is some shouting that happens between Caliban and we'll call this one Joba.
oh, hey, burn.
Exactly. Mostly from Joe Bob. It seems like Caliban is trying to de-escalate, kind of has his hands up and is talking at a louder pitch, but not necessarily shouting. And then he will Um, let's see. More insight, I think. Okay. He will take out his bow and start aiming an arrow towards like a tree. And you can see the various lizard folk kind of like, they were already keeping a wary eye on you guys, much like you were on them. But they kind of perk up when Calvin does this. And he fires at one of the trees some distance away. Jobab says something and then goes over in the direction you just shot the arrow. Calvin then walks over to you guys and says in common, they want to know what our skills are. And he says it somewhat quietly. They want to know what our skills are.
I be a mighty sailing man.
You're not there, Smithy. Get out of here. Civis and Gideon.
Yep.
Calvin says they, the lizard folk, want to know what our skills are.
Well,
Yeah,
depends what we're talking about here. I'm a soldier, first of all. And, well, an experienced one at that. I'm
Do you
pretty good
want
with
to-
my hands, but
Do you want me to tell them that?
if you want.
I'm asking you.
Listen, Calvin, I don't know these lizard folk like you do. First thing I think of a lizard folk is something that deserves to die. So I don't know how much I want to actually cooperate with them. So really, I'm just following your lead. And this is where my experience as a veteran, as a mercenary comes into play, because I know you're the best person for this job. You're the only one that can talk to them. You're the only one who can convey actual messages to them. And if you want me to tell you what I'm good at, then I'll tell you.
I was more asking, I don't, you get a sense that he wasn't expecting this kind of, you know, grilling, and he kind of, okay. He looks like
What
Gideon.
you want to know.
I want to know if we should tell him what our abilities are.
I think you should tell them what our professions are.
Okay.
I'm a smith. I'm a smithy. You can tell them that. That's all that.
And I'm a mercenary.
Okay. A while later, Joe Bob is returned. Calvin says something, yeah, with the arrow, hands it back to him. Calvin says something, and continues the conversation in their car. Pretty quickly, the lizard folk, they start speaking louder again. And Calvin just shrugs and says something, kind of makes a motion towards you guys. And then this lizard folk comes over to you guys and kind of holds the club out that he has, kind of hits his shield, and then points with his shield hand towards your guys' weapons.
In my hand. I'd never put them away. Like they're pointing at
The
the
weapons
ground right
in
now.
your hands.
Huh?
He'll point to the weapons in your hands.
Mhm.
Then I'll pull up my rapier.
He'll kind of make a motion towards some of the trees.
I think he wants us to go with him.
Calvin will come over and says, he wants more details in common. Likely. He's being aggressive about it.
What's he want?
So he wants to fight.
No, he wants to know what we're good at.
More or less.
Tell him if he wants to, I can show him, me and him,
Yeah,
The
that's
first-
what he wants.
first blood.
Ben will say something, we'll kind of think for a moment, and then we'll say something draconic. And then Joe Bob kind of shrugs, goes over, takes his, stands over to the side, and puts himself in a fighting stance.
Caliban, if it's the first blood, I want him to tell the lizard, is this the first blood, or are we,
That's what I told him, yeah.
and he agreed to that, so. All right,
Yeah, and then he says something draconic, and there's a nod that comes from the lizard folk to Caliban, and then turns back to look at Katie and then said that
He wants to fight us both.
just generically, you don't know. Although Caliban would say, probably just keep it. I mean,
I got it.
I don't know.
All right, I get in my stance.
All right. Roll initiative.
Should I roll too, or am I just observing?
Sure, yeah, go ahead and roll initiative, just in case you end up not observing.
Tell me about that.
Well, I'm rolling hot for some reason. Okay. Pause here, back to the other group. You guys have been eating, nice is probably not the right word, but a meal, if you so wish. You can also take some of your rations out if you want. But while you guys are around the fire and talking to some of the sailors and whatnot, the shaman lizard folk will come up to you.
Okay,
Do you guys, sorry. I
How do
should
you
let-
do people could always see around me?
Yeah, I was about to ask if there was something else you guys were doing. First, so with Keegan, you can see that there are, it would be 3 bedridden people, more or less. Injured people,
Okay, well, how many? Yeah,
injured people ranges up to it would be about, it would pretty much be every sailor here for a total of about 7.
that's good enough. Keegan will cast. Actually, let me make sure I have a spell slot for it before I try to cast it.
I'm gonna start trying to make a rough litter type thing for 3 of them.
They're on a cleared grassy spot, more or less. One of them actually looks sick rather than unconscious from injuries, although they are also injured. The other 2 are injured pretty bad.
So I'll need to
Okay.
probably a little ways. I mean, there's a fire, so there's wood somewhere around here.
Yep.
So
I'll have to upcast it, but it'll work.
bring it.
Actually, what is it? Give me one more second. Let's see what this. I think this is for not deaf. Not really what I need. Yeah, so I'm gonna up his aura vitality to 4th level. And I will heal. I'm assuming I can do it 10 times. I can do it once for bonus action. It's for 1 minute. So I will heal everybody 2d6. They each get their own 2d6. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Yep.
And including the lizard man that we heard.
Okay.
And then an additional 2d6 to the most wounded. Or the unconscious ones again.
Okay. So one thing you note happens as you target one of the heavily bandaged, injured, bedridden people, that actually there is no target on that one.
All right. Well, he'll continue with the spell obviously before we.
So you'll heal the other one that you can target a second time.
Yeah. I'll finish my healing of everybody around, and then go over to that.
And they are healed. Not necessarily completely for all of them, but they're much better condition than they were before. Yeah. Yeah. You can see energy kind of be regained amongst the sailors as they, regain some of their pizzazz and their zip, all that.
Yeah, keep him next to the one that is dead and say he's no longer with us.
One of the sailors nearby kind of nods and says, we thought that might be the case. We're trying to decide if we should give him barely at sea or bring him to his family first. Depends on how the rest of you
question. I had a discussion with one of my colleagues about that as well, about dealing with the dead. I do not have an answer for you, unfortunately. But you know him more than I did, so well, I don't know. No.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I'm assuming I'd know some of them, but like,
yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah, definitely. The only reason you didn't know that one was because of how mangled he was. But this one actually seems in better condition, and what the person says is it really depends on how the rescue goes.
Well, we have we have a rowboat to go to a ship that take you back to Saltmarsh. So I don't think transporting his body would be so much an issue. One of your guys' ships, I'm assuming. I don't know which, but we found it and it was not sunk, so we patched it as best we could.
You were attacked as well?
No, we were not attacked.
Then why was the ship being patched?
The ship was attacked.
Oh,
It's not our ship. It's, I mean, we found it.
I see. I misunderstood. It is at this time that the shaman comes up and says in common to Keegan, but also kind of gathering the three of you together. He says, I am the sub-chief of our clan, of the Saltmarsh clan of the Dunwater River. I am known as Darstrix Varga, And there are many things that we need to discuss. I would like to give you more time to speak and to eat, but we have seen signal fires along the coast. We believe there are more survivors.
Yes.
That is, could be, yes, true.
Are you all that has been sent to rescue the survivors?
There might be more coming later, but we're here first.
So far, there's another 3 of us.
Looks over. You can see the one who brought you guys over, Kapesk. He kind of looks up, shrugs, and then says in Draconic, which 2 of you understand, they refuse to be associated with these people.
Oh.
And then the Subchief kind of nods and then says, so first things first, we'll get the pleasantries out of the way. What are your abilities?
Why do you wish to
I'm
know?
primarily a healer.
A shaman as well, then?
I suppose you could say of the sort.
He turns to Jorlin. And you?
The real question is, why do you wish to know?
He raises a lizard eyebrow, which is an interesting sight, and then says, he says, it is only correct that if 2 groups work with each other, that they understand each other's skills.
So Ian was kind of irritated at Roland's questions, not because he thinks it's unreasonable, but like because he doesn't like go that way. Like he's not a suspicious person at all, so he's just like, why are we
asking this question? Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Why aren't we just trusting them immediately without asking questions?
Says the person who trusts people immediately without asking questions. Anyway, keep going.
Jordan says, for the most part, consider me a shaman.
You are also a healer?
Not so much a healer.
He kind of frowns. He says,
Do I have it?
you're saying?
I was just taking a look. Let's say there's a dragonfly flying by. I cast frostbite on it.
Okay. Yeah. He sees that. Sees, he frees some insect, and he goes, I understand. Yes. Magic is complex. And then he turns to Smithy.
I be a mighty sailing man, a skipper brave and true.
So he kind of looks and he says, you are smaller than most of the sailors here.
Judge Jordan by his statue, do you?
Jordan does
I'm
not
Jordan,
claim
by
to
the
be
way.
mighty. He looks at the shorter one. He looks around for, and he says, Jordan does not claim to be mighty.
Well,
Those
I can assure you he is.
And you?
What about me?
You fight with your hands and teeth?
Yeah, only with the just kind of pull out the rapier a little bit. Remember, it's a nice rapier, saw blade rapier, real nice.
Yeah, he kind of looks
Only with teeth.
at that. Right. He shuts and he says, "It is fine. You guys are not of our people. That will suffice. I am Darshix Vargok. I am a shaman as well. Specifically, I command the loyalty and strength of Simwania."
That would be your god?
Yes.
Okay.
And that is in addition to my abilities as a lizard folk, which normally would be a given in these sorts of circumstances, but obviously not. Which means that I am able to swim quite a bit better than you guys would do. Regardless, and use my
Mr. Shaman.
as well. Yes.
Have you seen any creatures that look vaguely like me in these woods, these swamps, I suppose?
And look, well, look says no.
Oh. Okay, good to know, I suppose.
I'm very interested in, you've talked about grouping together, fighting together, but yet you have not yet described the trouble in the area.
I get the trouble for
He said large animals.
Well, we are protecting the injured sailors from large animals, mostly because they would not be able to protect themselves. But the trouble in the area that caused their injuries was the Sawagan. There were discussions being held at our place with a number of different peoples of the ocean on what to do about the Sawagan problems. The talks have not finished yet, although they might conclude by the time that we return from this escort. And so that, I suppose, is the trouble that you find yourself in. We have not yet dealt with, nor are we alone able to deal with the Sawagan armies and pirates. I think
Sawagan armies and pirates?
and Sawagan pirates. Yes,
Oh, Sawagan pirates, okay.
I think that's what you'd call them.
Well,
My comment is fair.
Now you're speaking my language.
Regardless,
Have you heard of any very, very large crocodiles of some kind? And then King will repeat the name of that was given to him by the orc.
Manatee.
Now.
yeah, he raises an eyebrow, and then when you repeat the name, he says, "Oh, yes. We don't go there."
Would you be able to tell us where they are, where it is? We might have a secondary goal of dispatching it, per se.
Yes, Capes says you were adventurers. Sounds like something that you would do, I suppose.
Problem
Hmm.
solvers, I guess.
We can send somebody once this problem is resolved. and the council's finished, we will be able to send somebody to lead you there. That said, they do not move much. They are simply, if you follow Dunwater River for a while, deep in the cool marshes, you will find them. You will recognize it by its territory. It clears it out of larger trees.
So not hard to find.
And animals that are, as long as it's not too small, rabbit or larger.
So, right now, our goal is to save these men and to go and pick up the other men.
Do you have a way to do that?
We have a ship.
We have a ship.
And this is, well, the numbers that you have, is this all that you have?
You seem to believe that due to our numbers that we are lacking in skill.
I believe that you will not be able to protect the numbers that you are looking to protect. If each signifier we have seen is as large as the group we have here and as injured, which it is more likely they are more injured, not less, then you are looking at protecting 21 people in the cool marshes at least.
All we have to do is get them on board the ship.
Okay, thanks, Ron. And then he says, I suppose if you know a way to do that, then my concerns are moot.
Dean will turn and say to the group of sailors, if you guys are all ready to head out, we have a rowboat down by the beach that direction, and you can take it to the ship. And so we can proceed with the rescuing of the rest of the groups.
And I'll make you another offer there, Shaman. If you'd like to come along and join us in this quest to help protect the others to the ship and then back to Saltmarsh, you're more than welcome. And we'll be willing. I can give you my word as Captain Smith that I will help you rid the waters of this Sahawin demon.
Jarlin almost cringes when he says that.
Yeah, and you see Darius just kind of look at you and kind of smirk and say, and what would you be able to do?
Arr, I'm a mighty sailor.
Perhaps you can have a treaty with Saltmarsh.
Yes,
That's not a bad idea.
we are not, and we are not in, there's no need for a treaty. We do not,
I'm not.
we have no resources we contest over. And though we have a shared enemy, your, we'll say, inability to function underwater makes you a liability more than an asset.
Arr, but do I?
Well, regardless, there's a bit of racism that comes with that, with just, well, you know how people are. And perhaps having a treaty would at least lessen that maybe on-site violent tendencies towards lizard folk.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, water breathing also gives you a swim speed, right?
It does not.
It does not impede your movement on the water though.
Water impedes your movement in the normal way. We use water breathing.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of freedom of movement. Sorry.
Freedom of movement causes you to ignore water penalties, if I remember correctly. Either way, it is pretty clear that the shaman seems to think that humans are not very useful underwater, perhaps employing some of the racism Keegan mentioned earlier. But he will say, I will ask the queen. Maybe she will be interested in crafting a treaty. It does seem a fair, if not perhaps minimal or underwhelming recompense for the protecting of your sailors, but it is also not important to me. So,
Well, Saltmarsh is unaware of your actions at this point. Whether there might be compensation or not, I mean, I cannot speak for.
and I cannot either. So, all, as they say, although we are, although our skills are known to each other, our goals are not. It is a turn of phrase. It means what's the word they always use? Have a good day.
We'll talk again another time.
Just say the word in Draconic.
He said he says in common, he says, I don't know what phrase would be equivalent to what I'm saying, but what I mean is we are neighbors, but not necessarily friends. I'm not, there's no
Acquaintances.
the intent is unnecessary because there is no ill of it. Yeah, and then he says in Draconic, he says, what you would translate, what your tongue translates to mean, strangers passing by.
Ship in the night.
Right, two ships in the night, yeah. You wave. Have a good day.
Does any of the sailors head down to
Yeah,
boat because they're
with their
leaving
renewed
something?
energy, both being fed and hearing that there is a ship for them to be rescued, they are almost moving. They're almost like they don't want to leave without you guys, but like they're all packing up, and like anybody who's too slow in their packing, they are other people are helping them pack. It's like that kind of like, okay, let's go now. You know.
One more question for the Mr. Sean. Why did the other groups not want to deal with this group?
What do you mean? I
You
don't
said
know.
that the other group did not wish to
I don't know why your traveling acquaintances didn't want to.
oh, they didn't tell you. They didn't tell you?
Kapesk said they did not want to acquaint themselves with you. So,
With us
yes.
or with them?
Who is them?
The sailors?
Maybe. I don't know why they didn't want to acquaint themselves with you all.
Hmm. Well, I suppose we'll find out, shall we?
Not,
So he's basically about to say goodbye, right?
more or less.
John kind of approaches him and says, talk to your queen about it's what is called a non-fighting treaty, non-aggression treaty. Me and my group, we need to help save the sailors. We might come back and talk to your people. It's possible that we might, depending on what Saltmarsh says about the Sahuagin, we might come back. May I take a few moments and show you and cast a spell? Would that be okay for you?
But I think it's the Hoogland looks like. I've been doing this one a lot.
No.
Yeah, Dara Six says, fine by me.
All right. Jordan takes 10 minutes to cast telepathic bond. So it's a very powerful spell. And he casts it on the shaman and Jordan. And he says, my friend talks of power, but sometimes power doesn't have to really show itself. And I say that mentally.
Yeah, hold up. Do you want to include anybody else in the selection
No.
process? Okay. Let's do. Choose to. Sorry, that's an interesting thing. Okay, yeah. He will respond mentally with, very interesting.
We need to save the sailors first. But sometimes me and my group will do favors for people for compensation.
All right.
This spell will last 1 hour. If you want to ask a question or talk. But like I said, first we need to save the sailors. That's our goal.
That makes sense.
So
You will say to Kapesk, all right, let's gather the watchers and make our way back. Seems like these people will take care of the injured here. You see Joe, who has now been healed a little bit, come up to Smithy and say something which Smithy doesn't understand, but Jerlin and Keegan both hear, can I have my weapons back?
I'll look at him blankly.
Jordan will translate if Keegan doesn't.
Or suppose so. Animal.
Like the one javelin that you took and the club. And yeah, the other javelin, he doesn't, he kind of looks around and shrugs, and then you're like, I don't know. And just accepts that.
Okay.
Okay.
Kind of like it.
All right, sounds good. So Katie rolled initiative against Joe Bob.
I got
Who
10.
won?
Joe Bob rolled a 10. Putting,
Joe Bob.
I can't remember.
no, he rolled a 19. Apologies.
Oh, he's first.
Yeah.
He might.
So he will move up to you with martial. You'd say a bit of martial experience, but it's more with gusto than with any particular talent, you might say. The 6 misses, does a 20 hit.
I have a 15 armor class.
All right. You will take a total of 5 bludgeoning damage.
That's perfect.
Okay. That's not first blood. 5 points incident, is it? I get my shot.
That is a glancing blow, and because he is using a bludgeoning weapon, there is no obvious blood.
All right, well, I was gonna say, I was gonna drop one of my axes and just switch to one hand with 2 hands. Use it two-handed
All right.
and
That hits.
he takes 11 points of damage with an axe to the wherever you want to put it. I'll put it down by his leg.
I'll let you decide. Yeah, leg. All right.
I'll hit him in the thigh on a good angle, so I know I won't snap his leg, but it will stick to the bone.
Oh,
And then I'll
All right.
offer to help him up when he do so.
Yeah. So you hit his leg. He managed to get past his defenses pretty nimbly. Blood sprays down his leg. He gives you this kind of toothy grin. You're not sure if he's actually smiling at you or just grimacing because of the pain. But he kind of takes a step back and go ahead.
I'm gonna reach a hand out and like a hand where you grab forearms and you do the shape, the warrior handshake.
Yeah. Let's see if he.
I don't know if he knows that or not.
I mean, oh, he does. So he looks at the hand and you see that he's a little tentative, like he's not exactly sure what you're doing, but
Mhm.
he goes for the forearm as if,
Okay,
maybe this is what you're thinking.
I'm gonna give him a good squeeze. I mean, a good squeeze
Yeah.
on his wrist.
Yeah. Make me an athletics check.
Okay. Let's see. Okay,
Yeah. He has a fine handshake. Probably not anybody worth noting in your mind as a soldier. And you definitely give a much firmer handshake. Perhaps it's due to his own uncertainty, but you really clasp his arm, and you've won in every way.
I give him a nod and back away. Finally putting my.
All right. You will then turn to Civis.
I'm watching.
And then he says something in Draconic. Calvin translates. He wants to see what you can do also.
Sure thing.
They're like men.
God, a waste of time and energy.
Exactly. You rolled initiative also. What did you roll?
I only got 10.
Okay. I guess you can re-roll it since it's a new duel.
Honestly, since
Doesn't
it's
matter.
only,
Go ahead.
since I know he's gonna go for first blood, I got 22. I'm gonna put my rapier away. I don't need it.
Okay, sure. What's also funny is that he rolled a 19 again. So you go first.
All right. I'm hungry. He's a sentient creature. I'm gonna bite him.
Oh, all right. Go for it.
22.
That hit. Roll damage.
Alright. That's gonna be 4 points of piercing.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use the added proficiency bonus and give it to my next ability check or attack roll.
Very well. I will tell you right now that this person, unsurprisingly, has skills in perception, stealth, and survival.
Okay.
So you can choose any skill. There are other things that he knows that you can use to your advantage, but it is worth noting as you drain his blood and gain some of those skills that you recognize what he trains in more to some extent. You don't know how good he is, whatever, but there's some things that he is good at.
Well, I at minimum get plus the damage I rolled, so I'm gonna take a survival.
Okay, that's fine.
Just banking these skill checks. Great.
And so you did, just to be clear, you did 4 points of piercing damage and no necrotic damage?
I don't deal necrotic damage with that as a dampier.
Okay, so it's just piercing. Okay, so something interesting happens as you bite this person, and in any regular human society, this would be fucking crazy. You would never do this.
Right.
He doesn't even attack you. You bite him and drain some of his blood, learn his skills, whatnot, and he's like dumbfounded. And the rest of these soldiers are a little like, and he doesn't make an attack against you. This is not an attack, but he grapples you in the sense of and in the sense that you can choose to resist this and it will fail. So he goes to kind of take your hand.
Oh, go ahead.
And then also bite your hand, but not hard enough to even feel the pressure.
Oh, you're in love.
And then he puts it down and then just kind of wanders off, just off.
So I'm gonna look at Caddy and just bare my teeth and show him the lizard blood on it. I'm gonna lick my teeth.
Exactly.
I'm just gonna shake my head like,
Kill him. Let's go talk to one of these other dumbfounded lizard folk.
The rules were first blood. I thought I'd make it easy.
That's right.
Yeah, you definitely won. All right. There's a bunch of very quick conversation between Caliban and these lizard folk, and it's a lot of fast talking between both groups. And you see a few lizard folk come in, kind of talk some more and more fast talking. And whatever it is that they're talking about, neither side understands what the other side is trying to say for the entire time, as the sailors and the other group return with more lizard folk, and those lizard folk like start to collect the other ones, And they just kind of like shrug and they're like, you and Calvin just like shrugs. Like whatever it is that they discussed never reached this conclusion. Like these people are coming in, doing the thing, and that conversation's done. Bob goes over to speak to Joe Bob. That's into the group. But Caliban will ask the group in common, does anybody understand what lizard folk biting a person means?
They're hungry.
I might be able to roll a history check, but
I'm curious now that
Yeah.
you asked, but
From my experience, they were biting people because they felt like it, you know, food or not food. That's what. So, kind of, what was that lizard man's name?
Right.
Rex.
Rex.
man, lizard man blood kind of tastes like eating a leaf or something. It tastes plain.
Well, it is a bit plain, but it also tastes like a bit natural. Like it's very, you would say this is probably the least tempted by blood that you've ever tasted. It just feels like eating like salad, right? It's like a healthy diet. Right.
It's like when you're deciding ice creams and you've decided that you're just gonna have vanilla. This is what it tastes like.
Yeah. With a
I
16
imagine a lot of you don't have ice cream, so never mind.
For the 16 history check, you do not know. However, Capesc will come over and say in Draconic, you guys know Rex? How is he?
I know him now.
We don't know Rex. How do you know that name?
He is what would be the phrase? A hermit, oracle.
Is he revered or shunned?
He is revered for choosing to distance himself.
Do you know where Rex is?
He shakes his head. Do you?
Not right now, no.
We have not seen him for some time. Those who have sought him for guidance, he is not where he once was.
Well, I applaud him for separating himself from everybody else too.
He came to the lands of Saltmarsh and killed several people.
Huh. Thinks, he says, he is strange. Is there what he says? I'm not sure what that. I know what those words mean, but I don't know the ramifications of them.
By the laws of Saltmarsh, Saltmarsh wishes him or his head.
I see. Then there is not much to be said. If he cannot protect himself, then that is the way things should be. But I will warn you all, as you are the kind who seek fortune and glory, that you should not risk obtaining Rex's head.
All right, I got no interest in doing that.
Jordan kind of shrugs.
He kind of shrugs, the Capes kind of shrugs as well and says, apologies, I heard his name and assumed maybe too much.
Hey, can I ask him if he knows what it means when you bite a lizard folk?
Sure.
Who asks?
Me? I'll point to myself if he's looking for me.
No, I mean, who translates for this? Because this person only speaks for them.
I assume Shoreline, but
Jordan will translate. Keegan can
Okay.
also translate. I'm trying not to talk. I'm trying to talk less.
Sure, I'm just wondering, I'm just wondering too, because otherwise it would be Caliban. So, Capes goes, says to those who understand, biting a person, it means that there is a respect given to them, a great respect, a worthiness, more or less. It is why we only eat food we ourselves have hunted, if it is alive. It is also the reason why lizard folk do not eat humans.
No, that just means that you showed him respect.
yeah. And he did it to me too, so I guess that's fine.
If he did, then it is fine. I will talk to him about it, but this is something that is often misunderstood.
Mhm.
And then he will leave.
Sorry, Mike.
Try, yeah. So to put some clarity there, just because, Caliban did get a little more information, so maybe he's the one giving clarity here. Essentially, lizard folk are cannibals, as their reputations come, but lizard folk, humans are not lizard folk, i.e. a lizard folk would not eat a human. They may not even bite a human. But first of all, Rex is an interesting exception to that. And second, which you may or may not learn why in the future. And second, I don't think there's ever been a lizard folk who's been bitten by a human before. So, like,
Sure, that caught him off guard.
I'm sure. I'm sure it did. Literally hit him with a 24, so I'd say pretty off guard to me.
We're crossing racial barriers here. We're doing good, guys.
I'm doing good. That's right. But yeah.
No, I
So
wouldn't
now-
call it racial.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be funny, okay?
I mean,
Yes.
does it mean necrophilic? I don't know.
Well, it's a bit weird. Well, that I don't know. That I'm not gonna answer for that.
I'll bring it up to Dorland just to give him a mind teaser.
You suspect that it is not romantic per se. It's more like a ritual, more like a ritual cannibalism, or in the case of hunting, something that they're eating, a ritual preparation of the meats and such. 7 respect to what they hunt. But with that said, you and the 7, well, in this case now
I'm back,
6.
sorry.
Yep, you're good. You all and the 6 mostly healed sailors head back to the beach, where with the extra hands you are able to carefully bring the one sick one who's still sick down the steep incline to the rowboat, where they are taken to the ship, which is still there, and nothing in particular seems to have happened to it.
Oh, Polly, this is all right, this is all right.
So, as you guys do this, and you are considering perhaps where you'd want to drop off in the next landing, Caliban's maps being useful for this sort of thing, you guys see that about 5 other fishing vessels, not in, well, they're not clustered together, but they're in formation in the sense that they can all see each other, and you can see all of them approach your vessel, more or less. The group of them approach.
We do have the flag, like nation running.
You have not put that up yet, no.
Yes, we do that now.
You note that the nearest one starts raising a white flag.
Do we have a white flag?
You do.
I'll raise it.
Okay. So as you guys go down to the extra supplies and open the crate and are pulling the white flag out, the torn flag of Keelan, something falls out of it. In its heat, there was something that was not noticed within.
Well, take it
Something
out.
was thrown into it.
Something was put in it. It looks like a scroll.
I'll pick it up.
It is not sealed with wax. Written in a hasty script. It says this. They have drowned my crew like the fish we catch. They use nets to pull us off the deck. The ship is sinking, leaking with holes, and while they may not find me, shore is too far to swim to. So I write in this scroll, which is sealed, what I know of the attack on Silverhall. And marked at that point is a quick cap and implying that there's the captain of the ship knows this. It goes on.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Drums in the deep, they are coming.
I'm gonna pass it off to somebody else, and I'm just gonna pull the other flag out just in case he hid himself in here.
No. Nothing else was hidden in here. However, you note that, yeah, no, nothing else was hidden in here. Everything else except the flag that was kind of stuffed in at the top is neatly folded.
Jordan will continue reading the note out loud.
The note continues. It says, I had slept on the ship, actually doesn't, sorry, doesn't know that deep, far back. He says, fishing had been going well when the sailors started disappearing. I ordered the men to get cover from the net that was pulling them overboard. And we found refuge there for a time before realizing the ship had holes that were being punctured from beneath where we could not protect the ship. Some men thought to seal the holes, but the arrows cut through like ballista bolts, killing them. And when we came onto the surface of the deck of the ship to surrender, we were attacked and pulled overboard by men like fish, or with sharp teeth, big pupiled eyes, and weapons designed to cause pain more than kill. With few defenses and many lost overboard and the ship sinking, I write this note to let those who might find it know that the WALLEN, which they call themselves, are planning on destroying Saltmarsh and every other coastal town. How, I do not know, and whether my warning reaches anyone is unclear, but I hope, and then it ends. No blood, just ends. They are coming.
Charlie will safely put this, tuck it into his book so it is safe.
Right?
I thought I would find a body in here, but there's no such luck.
Do you put the white flag or the flag of feeling?
White.
Okay. As you put the white flag up, knowing the proper signal to be like, hey, let's talk. We're not gonna fight you. One of the fishing vessels comes over. You can see that it is marked with the WALLEN mark. Her entourage of shipping vessels that she sent out seems to include this group. And at 3 hours. What I will say is the first mate comes on board as you guys, hail each other and dock so that they can meet. They see some of the injured sailors, which they actually have more food and water prepared for rescuing people, so including a doctor, more or less. But the first mate will say to you all, you've done a great service for our company and for the people of Saltmarsh. What brings you out this far? Or more like, what brings you out at all?
You need rescue the wrecked sailors.
A meeting with the locals.
The locals.
Our rivermen who live upon the coast offered a type of a parlay with in order to aid them in the fight against the sea demons and attacking our ships. So that is what's been attacking our ships. Jordan, show them what they look like.
I'll show them illusion of a so we can.
So it's never seen that before. Is that a fish?
Fish man.
A merman?
No, a fish man.
Seems technical outside of my expertise. Either way, that is interesting and good to know. I'm sure Vito would like to know. Wait, so these fishermen were attacked by that thing? Not pirates?
What?
That is very good to know.
Is Keegan here?
You are all there. You are all there. Common is being spoken.
Keegan will specify, the shaman said that they were fishmen and fishmen pirates.
The shaman?
So they were pirates.
Oh,
just,
the lizard folk, you mean, had a
yeah,
shaman.
sorry.
Right.
Yes.
Fishermen and fishermen pirates.
So they're pirates, yes, but not human, I guess.
You mean like they're not from the pirate princes?
I can't answer that.
The captain of this ship wrote a note, and basically he surmises, or he had some evidence that the Sahuagin are raising an army to wipe Saltmarsh off the map.
The first he blinks like 7 times before saying it, just like a slow blink. And goes. That sounds pretty important. Is this ship sea worthy?
It'll get us
Ish.
by, I think.
I'll
Yeah,
get
it's.
of it.
Well, let's make sure that it's not a maybe. I'm gonna send.
The rudder
gonna send
works
one of
and
our
most of the holes are fixed
What?
and the water is out.
Let's make sure it's not a maybe. I'm gonna send you a second ship to go with you. And I need you guys to deliver that message.
What about the other
Just all
sailors?
like, we have a good 6 other ships here. We will be able to get the other sailors.
I mean, I can deliver the message without going there.
But will it be in the hand of the captain?
It can go to whoever you want. I mean, you mean the paper? No.
They'll need evidence of what is being said here. Because the council won't move without evidence. No, the council barely
Doesn't move with evidence.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Did any of these sailors see these creatures? And he actually kind of turns to some of the other sailors, and almost all of the 6 surviving ones, minus the ones that didn't hear or the sick one, raised their hand. And you say,
So how close are the other sailors? How are we close to the sailors we brought back to us right now?
they wouldn't be further than 100 feet. Literally, they'd be in the ocean if they were further than 100 feet.
But I could probably, do you think I could get away with a whisper?
Oh yeah, for sure. This conversation wasn't being. You guys weren't broadcasting it to everybody on both ships, but the ships are just small. So
Yeah.
there was a few of the, and he kind of said that louder on purpose.
Right, okay. King will say, for unknown reasons to us and the shaman, this group did not, the other groups of sailors did not want anything to do with this group of sailors. We don't know why, and we don't know for what reason. You
I
can
don't-
ask them, but
I'd like to clarify that, please. So was he talking about the other groups of sailors, or was he talking about our teammates who chose to stay separate?
no, he was talking about the other groups of sailors, didn't want to be with this group of sailors.
Who are you asking? Arthur?
I'm
In
asking
game or out of
the
game?
game master.
All right,
Out of
asking
game,
you
okay.
again, out of game, yes. The answer is you. Here was the context. The sub chief asked, "Is this everybody?" To the
To one of his
metal-
men.
one of his men, yes. And what they said was there were more, but they didn't want to associate with them.
So he was talking about our own friends.
Yes,
Oh, that's a misunderstanding. Well, I'm still gonna play that's how King would still say
that's-
all that.
by intention, yes. The conversation wasn't
Okay.
for you per se, but you could gain what you gained from it. Yeah, exactly. Regardless, you say this and the captain kind of thinks, well, we will be, one ship would be enough for that number of people. And we are giving you a second ship just in case you get attacked. So why don't we say that we'll send you guys with the injured sailors you guys rescued. That way they can give any testimony they feel like they need to. They need.
What about healing the other groups?
As I said before, we brought doctors.
I wasn't here for that. Fair enough.
Actually,
Um,
that,
If you need time to,
with some, yeah, sounds good to me.
if you need time to think about it, I can give it to you, but not much. Yeah. And by the way, I rolled first mate was a woman. She was the ship to you guys to talk about it.
Well, I'm okay with going back and letting them pick up the other sailors.
Oh, definitely.
yeah, and it seems like if we want to fight the giant crocodile thing, we're gonna have to go quite up into the marshes, so perhaps we
You
need to
guys-
prepare for that.
You guys
Continuing on.
actually do have a map that shows where that is, and it is where you see it on the map. So you guys are about like here right now. Saltmarsh is down here. Up to you.
I don't just really want to kill the giant crocodile.
No, if we want to do that.
Do eventually.
Eventually, yeah. I think delivering this news and someone's gonna have a silver mirror for you.
And the ship that we're on needs more permanent repair work than how we jury rigged it.
Certainly. Nothing a little fabricate spell won't fix.
Hey. You can be quite handy then.
No, I can't use fabricate.
Yep. Oh, well,
So say,
that big. Oh,
we'll see.
So
So,
let's turn the ship around and get everyone home.
okay,
So are we thinking that this ship's ours now?
well,
We don't know.
I'm not thinking it's not.
That was kind of aimed at Smitty.
Oh.
Smithy's like, I hope it is. I also am assuming it is. Also, I'm planning on it being my show.
All signs point to yes.
Was almost about to be healed and be fully recovered. Suddenly, that door came and grasped him at the very end.
I mean, he's not on the ship anymore. So what does Saltmarsh speak for? Anyway, so regardless, the group of you, along with the 6 injured sailors and the fresh about 7 other sailors from the other ship that goes with you, make your way back to Saltmarsh without issue. And I will end the session with a question to everyone. Is there anything you guys would like to discuss or role play before we get to Saltmarsh?
I just want to make,
Or questions or ability checks or anything?
I do have a question.
Yeah.
Will this provide us enough time for me to re-prepare spells?
No.
Not this session, but like once we get back to town.
You will have time in general to prepare spells, but the sailing time from Saltmarsh out to where you're at and back is not a, it's.
No, I'm more concerned for role play purposes. So like, we'll be back in town and I'll have enough time to prepare different spells for.
Oh, you're
Role play,
saying for mechanical reasons, can I re-prepare spells before
Yes.
the next session? All right. Yes, go ahead and do that. That would be an issue.
XP, I guess.
XP for today's session was deadly. And inspiration was, well, considering also you guys did a bunch of chatting in the chat, I will give you guys 2 inspiration for today's session. And then, let's see, it was Keegan, Zach, Alex, Bill. Those 3 people, I'll give you an extra inspiration for that. One might say excessive, but also very cool role play.
Oh, it's about to get a lot more excessive if I can
Get away with it. Exactly.
if I can get re-prepare my spells. We're gonna do some character development.
Oh no!
Oh boy. More talking with Egan.
No. So yeah, I'm trying to think. I feel like, let me know how everybody else is feeling about this, that because of the circumstances and being the kind of hard turn and swap from what you guys are originally going to do, that you guys will reconsider your options once you're in Saltmarsh, more or less. Is that a fair assumption? You'll have another session in Saltmarsh to like do stuff again if you want to, but I also want to make sure people, because if everybody's just like, hey, we're gonna go deal with the alligator next, that's not hard at all. I'm like I can plan, like I've already done some planning for that. So
it's not, I wouldn't say Keegan's dead set on doing the alligator. It was just kind of what was on his mind while we were up there. So I'd say probably reevaluating our point of interest would be needed in the next game.
Yep. I will say this then, when it comes to reevaluating points of interest and such, Caliban, as he returns to Saltmarsh, basically says to the, actually, honestly, it's not even before you guys get to Saltmarsh. Once you guys are getting near, Caliban probably speaks to Jorlin and Smithy, possibly Keegan, and doesn't omit Civis or Cadian, but just those are the 3 people he's more interested in talking to. And he basically says, you know, after curling something off the ship, he goes, this sailing thing is just not for me. I'm gonna go somewhere else to do my maps. I don't know this. Yeah, that he basically he lets you all know that his plan once he gets to Saltmarsh is to take his cart and horse, maybe it was a donkey, whatever it was, and head in towards Silver Strand and maybe talk to the elves there, or maybe the orcs. Probably not. No, whatever it is, he doesn't want to do any more of this coastal work. So he leaves.
So we lost the player character.
You lost a player, and his character motivation for leaving more or less is not. I don't want to do any more of this ship stuff. And like he's like green in the face when he tells you that. So maybe pale white also, somehow both. But yeah. So if there's any final things anybody wants to do interact with Caliban, let me know. And yeah. Hope you guys all have fun.
Does Caliban have any magical items that the group would be interested in?
I will
don't think
double
so.
check if he has any magical items. The answer is possibly yes. He has two particular magical items, or two items that are useful. Whether you guys are, whether Arthur would give them to you is debatable. And that is the enduring spellbook he picked up for his map making purposes.
No, that's his.
Definitely his. And also the book on plants and animals and such.
That is the group.
Well, yeah, so that's definitely the groups. He definitely has, I can't remember if he was borrowing it or if he wanted to keep it. It was kind of a both seas sort of thing. Personally, I'm of the mind that I don't know. I guess I would say the big person who would care about that would be Jordan. So I think that's maybe the big question here. And maybe this is also a conversation you have with Arthur at some point. But yeah,
Okay.
because obviously it is a useful book, but also, like you have the philosopher's stone. So like book on magical plants versus philosopher's stone. Clearly, you deserve something from all his hard work. But yeah, he did it. So any other role playing or that you want to do, guys want to do with Caliban, or any other questions or other concerns?
A question. You said deadly experience. Exactly what is that?
So a deadly session is a session where you get 2 experience points because there is a risk, an above average to very high risk of death. This session fit that criteria mostly because you could have easily gotten into a fight with the list, but you would have lost that fight. I mean, I say that players get inventive, but
It would have been a difficult fight.
above average is probably the right way to phrase it. Each one of those things had about 54 HP made to attack surrounds, and there was 9 of them, I think. And then there was also the 2 other ones, which is a special soldier and a shaman, both of which also had even more HP and more special things. So you could have probably done it successfully, but it would have been tough, more or less.
I would like to roleplay Chalky to kill a deck
Something like that. Sure.
with you. It can be either now or it can be an RP. I don't care.
Let's keep that in RP chat just because likely you're not talking with anybody else, right? You're not bringing anybody else with you.
Not unless everybody else wants to come, but he doesn't intend to. No. He's not going to ask anybody else to go. He's specifically not going to have Jordan be there.
Very well. I don't think Jordan would want to be there, but
No, I don't think he would either.
all right. Yeah, we'll save that for other people. Well, sorry, what's up?
Can we still trade 5 inspiration for 1 XP?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm 1 XP away from 6 or 7.
1 XP away from 10.
I am.
Well, 9 plus 1, rather.
What?
I'm 1 XP away from 9 plus 1.
Oh.
Makes sense. Because of math.
Well, I just say it like that because it makes more sense.
Yeah. I know. All right. Hope you all had fun. Hope you all have a good evening, day, whatever time it is for you. Hope to see you guys in 2 weeks.
Well, thanks for the game.
Yep, thanks, Isaac.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks, man.